Hey everyone! Welcome back to another episode of Hey Spark. I hope you're doing well, wherever you are. As I sit here trying to narrow down what I want to discuss, I find myself at a loss. There are so many thoughts competing for attention that I feel like I'm in the middle of a tangled ball of yarn. Perhaps it's because we're well into December, and everywhere I look, people are wrapping up their 2024 and planning their 2025. The air is thick with systems, tools, and methodologies for organizing life and setting goals. Initially, this collective energy of renewal inspired me, but gradually, an unsettling feeling crept in. Questions began to swirl. What systems am I using to record memories and lessons learned? What are my plans to ensure a better next year? If I don't have groundbreaking achievements to write down, does that mean I've wasted a whole year? And am I destined to waste the next one too? These thoughts wrapped around me like constricting strands. The more I tried to untangle them, the tighter they seemed to close in. Recognizing this downward spiral, I reached for my notebook and pen. There's just something really grounding about the physical act of writing. Clarity began to emerge. I'd been so focused on hunting for new insights that I had overlooked a fundamental truth about learning. It can't be rushed, especially the meaningful kind. Anyhow, instead of pressuring myself to come up with important lessons from 24 to 25, I want to share here a few things that have been on my mind lately. They originate from different aspects of life: interactions, readings, podcasts, and videos. Some happened recently, the others took place a long time ago but didn't dawn on me until now. I haven't fully thought through them yet, so a lot of what I talk about here is still quite raw. If you're interested, please keep listening. Be careful with judging your past decisions with your present experience and knowledge. This is something Mr. Spark said to me when we were having random conversations about things that happened in the past. I was telling him how I made bad decisions at the time and I should have approached the project differently. He continued to say that my previous self did not know what I do now, so she couldn't possibly have made the same decisions I would now. What he said made me pause in the moment to reflect on both the concept he was describing and the elements to consider when I think about my past actions and decisions altogether. There is one thing I can be sure of my previous self. She made the best decision she could with what she had at the time. If it weren't for her making those decisions then, I wouldn't have learned the lessons I hold dear now. Life has a way of coming full circle in unexpected ways, lifting us to vantage points we couldn't have planned for, giving us a bird's view to see the complete picture from above. Perhaps the next time I'm tempted to think how I did something wrong or that I can make a better decision now, I can remember to ask myself, is it better or is it just different? You can't have everything, just not all at once. The concept of work-life balance has been another area of deep reflection. There was a time when I was obsessed with achieving this elusive equilibrium. Researching tools, setting goals, and experimenting with systems and structures to reach a state where work and life would be perfectly balanced. But each tool had its limitations. Goals seemed to recede further and further into the distance, and experiments simply failed. I felt emotionally imbalanced precisely because I was so focused on maintaining an arbitrary division between work and life. I had to ask myself the difficult question: is work-life balance achievable? The even more difficult answer emerged: no, at least not for me. My concept of balance meant doing both well and deriving equal joy from both, ending up fulfilled and happy about both. But that's exactly where the problem lies. I want both. If life has taught me anything, it's that both doesn't happen. At least, not together. I don't have a solution at the moment. What I do know now is that I still need to work to live and do a good job with my work. And I don't want to give up my life projects. It will take time, trial and error, and some pretty serious tweaking to find what works for me. But letting go of the obsession of restrictions like even division or need both to perform perfectly feels like the right start. Choose whose criticism to take, but know when to listen. The principle of don't take criticism from someone you wouldn't go to for advice initially seemed like a perfect solution to my hypersensitivity toward others' opinions. I remember how enlightened I felt when I first encountered this idea, immediately categorizing people who either fell into or out of that framework. However, reality has proven to be more complex because other dynamics are also at play. While I might not seek advice from certain colleagues, their opinion can still impact team dynamics and project assignments. In personal relationships, family members whose guidance I wouldn't seek can still influence broader family harmony through their behaviors. I'm learning to adapt this principle. While I don't need to internalize their criticism or let it affect my self-worth, I can acknowledge the practical implications of others' perceptions when necessary. Looking back at these reflections, I notice they share a common thread. None of them follow a linear path. They zigzag, sometimes backtrack, and they're invariably messy. Yet each detour has contributed to where I am now. The procrastination I still struggle with has taught me about my fears and motivations. The criticism I sometimes take too personally helped me understand my boundaries and values. Even my frustrated attempts at achieving work-life balance have revealed what truly mattered to me in both areas. As this year draws to a close, I'm viewing my tangled ball of yarn differently. Instead of seeing it as something to frantically unravel before the calendar turns, I appreciate it as a complex tapestry of experiences. Some threads might remain tangled, some lessons partially learned, and some goals still in process. and that's perfectly fine. Moving into 2025, I'll still make plans and set goals, but I'll learn to leave space for the unexpected detours and messy moments that often lead to meaningful growth. My future self will have her own wisdom, just as my past self had hers. The best I can do is keep moving forward, embracing both the clarity and the confusion, knowing that even the messiest path can lead to unexpected revelations.
You're the cure to all my pains. 널 좋아하나 봐. 널 사랑하나 봐. 이제는 더 이상은 숨길 수 없잖아. 내일 더 아껴줄 거야. 안아줄 거야. We're meant to be, you can't deny. 내일 더 다가갈 거야. 사랑해줄 거야. You're my sunshine after rain. 네가 좋아. 무지개 빈 하늘을 봐. 또 푸르른 하늘과 Silver lining in the clouds. 바람결에 내리는 너의 향기 햇살 같은 눈빛 작은 점 하나같이 사랑해주지 않고 못 배가 oh baby. 널 좋아하나 봐. 널 사랑하나 봐. 이제는 더 이상은 숨길 수 없잖아. 내일 더 아껴줄 거야. 안아줄 거야.